Zero Shihan, talking to you from Shanghai, website zeroshihan.com. Today I'm talking about crystals. Why are crystals important in terms of healing? Why do I use crystals? What is the whole relevance about crystals? I just thought I'd give a very brief introduction and just provide you with my perspective on this whole subject. You know, here's a crystal ball. I use it in my work. You know, I hold it like a bit like the old traditional guy in the medium or the fortune teller. And it's classic that it is a clear crystal ball, because it wasn't always a clear crystal ball. I used to have the calcite, the selenite. I used to have different balls, and you know, I guess I've become so used to this round shape, because according to you see, even my bracelets, the bracelets that I create, they're all round, predominantly round in shape, just because there's a certain vibration that is being distributed in a more circular fashion. In other words, the vibration of the crystal, the frequency, is sent out in all directions, gradually begins to permeate the energy field of a human being. And of course, this is very subtle. You know, I personally, unless I'm fully in my channel or I'm in a more deeper state, I can't actually sense these things. But I know that they're operating here in the background. Now, the reason I use crystals while I'm doing my meditations or while I'm doing my channeling work is because the crystal actually has a stabilizing function. It has a certain consistent frequency. And we know this from quartz watches. We know that that crystals are used in many industries because the molecular structure within the crystal is very regular. It's very structured, orderly. It can hold information and it can hold energy in a more consistent fashion, right? So we as human beings, as emotional beings, our energy is for most of us is going up and down. Our mood is changing all the time. So, but a crystal is very consistent. So a quartz crystal might just be going, you know, it's not emitting a sound, but it's always sending forth a consistent vibration. And this principle is used when you use crystals for healing. See, if a crystal is drawing forth light or is drawing forth a high frequency of energy and is consistently transmitting that high frequency energy, well, then you can utilize that for your benefit. So, for example, if you place a lot of crystals in a room, then more higher frequency energy will be transmitted through the amount of crystals in the room. And of course, if the crystals have been attuned or programmed, or we could say energetically prepared sufficiently, then that will be even higher. So they are incredibly useful tools. Let's call it a consistent vibration that can really nudge us in a certain direction. Let's use an example. I'm going to just take one of my bracelets here. So, for example, here is one that I've put together for physical health. And I'll hold it a little closer. You can see there's some red stones in there, there's some green stones in there, there's some black stones in there. But really the function of this bracelet is to emit a vibration that is continuously encouraging the human organism, the etheric field especially, and the physical body itself to have maximum vitality. And of course, every bracelet, every combination of crystals has a slightly different purpose. You know, it's not like I'm making this up in my mind. I channel the information through, and of course that means you have to trust what I get. And the best possible approach is really to learn how to trust your own intuition and feeling. So if you feel drawn to a particular crystal, there must be a consistent energy within that particular crystal that is useful for you. And that may only be for a certain time period until your soul, until you as a learning, evolving being, you have adjusted to that frequency, or you've included that frequency in your life, in your own being. So in many ways, crystals come and go in our lives. And I hope this introduction gives you a better idea or understanding of why it can be very useful to include crystals as part of your spiritual journey. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more soon.